Hey Money Guy family, it's your host Brian Preston, back with another episode of Ask the Money Guy with Bo Hansen.
That's right, you guys have financial questions, we have financial answers. Go out to your favorite social, use the hashtag AskTheMoneyGuy, or go to our website, moneyguy.com, and you can ask a question right there.
It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Brian, this is actually a real world question. We actually got this in the office earlier today. The question that was posed to us is someone had just finished doing their taxes and they are getting a pretty decent size refund. And their question was, is that a good thing? When I do my taxes or when I prepare for my taxes, should I structure it so that I get a refund or should I not get a refund? Which one is better?
Let's talk about this. First, I like to give a little perspective. You realize now it's way too early to know how tax year 2018 is going to turn out on refunds, but historically, if you look at 2016, 2017, the average, there's 72 to 73% of you, so get refunds.
Okay.
That's the majority of taxpayers get refunds when they file their taxes. And those numbers typically come in right under $3,000. I was amazed if you look at 2016, 2017, only $11 separated the two numbers.
Wow.
So right under $3,000 is the average refund. Now that sounds exciting. And I think it is pretty cool that people have refund, but is that necessarily a good thing? When I think about $3,000 that the government got to keep tax-free,
interest-free.
It's interest. I don't know why I said tax. It is truly interest-free. They're not, meaning you are giving the government gets to hold your money without paying you a dime for it. So if you have it just in a cash holding, what does that generate, Bo?
Yeah, if you hold that in cash right now, $3,000, you can earn about 2%. That's $60 a year.
Yeah, that's decent. That's
a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you go buy Uncle Sam dinner every year if you didn't have to?
If you could actually put that money to work for you, I always think it's interesting if you could make 7-8% a year. That could be around $240 a year. That could actually pay you a month of utilities while you're retired. So let's not let that army of dollar bills sit there idly in an interest-free loan to the government.
That's right.
Let's talk about what actually we ought to consider with getting refunds. I would rather if you think about it, since it's money that's not working for you, wouldn't it be better if you went to your employer and said, how about if you think this is going to be a consistent trend, there's no fluctuations with your income or fluctuations with expenses in the coming years, and you think it's going to be pretty consistent every year, you get about $3,000 back, why don't you consider going to your employer and see if they'll adjust your withholding so you get that money throughout the year? So guess what? You could do something with it. You could actually set up maybe dollar cost average into shoring up your cash reserves.
That's right.
You could shore up investing in a Roth IRA so that money would grow tax-free. I mean, this would be a tremendous opportunity for you.
That's exactly right. Now, I feel like we've been pretty one-sided, Brian. We've said, okay, no way, no how. You don't ever need to get a tax refund. It's an inefficient use of resources. And while that may be true, I think it's probably also true to say that doesn't mean that in every scenario, someone should structure the situation and not get a refund. Would you agree with that assessment?
I do, and the government actually has that built into the tax code. Once you make over approximately $150,000, they're going to start making the safe harbor provision so you don't get into underpayment penalty situations. You have to pay 110% of last year's taxes.
That's the requirement.
Yeah, they just make, so you'll see that that's already built into it, that you'll have to pay. So I think you'll have to pay a little bit extra than what you made last year because the government wants to make sure they get their money from you. Right. So I will tell you, if you get into a high income situation, I do think it gets into where, yes, you might very well get a refund of a few thousand bucks, and you'll just apply it to next year's to lower your estimated tax payments. But for the average person out there, because think about it, I looked it up. According to U.S. Census, the average income for the U.S. household is a little under $57,000 a year.
Okay.
So if you think about the $3,000 refund on $57,000, you have people that approximately over 5% of their income is locked up with the government.
I mean, think about if they were just take that 5% and put that in their 401k instead of letting the government borrow it.
We tell people they need to be saving 15 to 25% of their gross income for the future. I've already told you where 5% is coming from the government with your tax refund. And Bo, we see it all the time. Now, I heard you talking to somebody that if somebody is undisciplined, because we think that the average Money Guy listener, you are a financial mutant, you get this, but there's a lot of people that are probably in your circle of influence that aren't wired the same way. What should those people consider?
Yeah, so those folks, so the one thing that we never want to have happen is we don't want you to go adjust your withhold less from your paycheck, and come April, you have to come up with a tax payment, and maybe you're not a diligent saver. Rather than saving that money, you just went out and bought more stuff or spent more stuff. Some people do use their tax refund as a mechanism for forced savings. It is certainly not optimum, and it is certainly not efficient, but if that's what it takes to make sure that you don't get yourself in trouble with your favorite uncle, then maybe you are someone who needs to withhold a little bit extra.
So here's your challenge. We're about a month from tax deadline, April 15th. I want you to see if there's a way when you get your refund this year, because there's going to be a lot of you that get refunds, put that money to work for you. Let that be part of your army of dollar bills that will be set aside for your future self. I promise you will thank yourself years in the future, and it will be something that will let your money work for you just as hard as you do, so you don't have to use your brain, your backs, and your hands forever.
If you have a financial question, or you have a common sense real life question like this tax refund question, we want to hear it. Go out to your favorite social, use the hashtag #AskTheMoneyGuy, or you can go to our website, moneyguy.com, ask us a question, and we'll answer it right here in the Tesla.